Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone to DSN macaroon making with Alexis. Wow, we have 42 people in here so far. I knew you were famous, Alexis, but this is awesome. Okay, so Alexis, take it away.
Okay, Lori's up. Hi everybody. We're gonna be making macaroons. You guys have the measurements in the chat if anyone didn't hear Frida. So if you want to start measuring your things, but I'm gonna go over it with you as we start. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take out sheets of parchment paper and our cookie cutters and pencils, and we're gonna trace circles on our sheet. One second, let me go on the other side.
And if anyone has questions, they could ask in the chat. I'm going to be reading the chat and I'll ask Alexis your questions.
This is the first thing that we're going to do.
Hi, Lori.
You're going to leave them a decent amount apart, and you're going to do it on your whole sheet. This way that when you pipe them, they could pretty much, you could follow inside the circle and they could pretty much be the same size. Lori, you want to do this?
Sure. I get to do the boring part.
You can do the fun things too, but I want to show them the sheet that I have.
Good question, Linda Hannon. So how many trays do they make?
Probably 2 is what this recipe.
2 trays, okay. And Gila asked, what could she use if she doesn't have a cookie cutter?
A circular object.
Yeah, anything with a circle to trace.
Like you could use the cup, the bottom of
Ah, smart one.
any circle.
Okay, I want you to put that outside because I want to show them something. Okay. If you like making macaroons after this class or you practice, they sell these silicone mats that already have, sorry mine's dirty because I made a test batch before. These silicone mats that already have the circles for you, so you don't have to do this every time. Or you could trace it one time and then always put this sheet that you make underneath another parchment and pipe on that, and then take it out afterwards so that you don't dirty that one. And you could always use that as a guide. You could even do it with a permanent marker if you're not going to use it, like with the with your batter.
Perfect. Norma,
Peter, you're watching them, so let me know when they're ready for the next step.
Okay, girls, thumbs up when you're ready for the next step. Okay, I see 1 thumb. Let's see. Any other thumbs? I see 2 thumbs.
I can't see anything.
Thumbs up, girls.
When you finish, what you're gonna do is, I'm screaming. Do you hear? Am I screaming, Frida? I'm sorry.
You're perfect. You're perfect.
Okay, because I feel like I'm far from the thing, so I have to talk loud. When you finish tracing them, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take it. You're gonna take your tray. The side that has the pencil written on it is gonna go face down, so that your batter never touches the pencil, but you can see the circles through, so it will guide you.
Got it. Got that, girls?
Hmm? No, it's okay. Yeah. The next thing, I'm gonna start. Should I start showing the next thing, guys?
Wait, question from Victoria. I just put a separate sheet of parchment on top. Is that okay?
On top of the one that's traced, you mean?
Yeah, I think that's what she means.
Yeah, so that's great. So you don't have to, then you won't have to do two sheets of the circles. You pipe it and then you'll slide it out, you'll pull it out from underneath and then put it under your next one on your next tray. And then you could keep that as a guide for every time.
Got it? Okay, she got it.
Okay. So whoever has piping bags, if you don't have a piping bag, a Ziploc gallon bag is fine. And you're not going to do the next step because you can't cut your bag until we fill it after. If you have a piping bag and a tip, we're gonna cut the tip off, not so much. And you're gonna take your tip and put it inside. I have to cut a little bit more. It's always better to cut a little less because you could always cut more. But it doesn't like slide through, and push it on good. And then you're gonna take a little bit at the top, right above the tip, twist it and stick it in so that when you're filling your bag with the macaroon batter, it doesn't leak through. You don't want it to like drip all over the place. So then when you're ready to pipe, you'll pull that up and it could start coming out. I also use this big silicone measuring cup to put this in, and I fold the bag over it so that I can fill it. You can put it over any kind of bowl or glass. It just makes it easier instead of having to juggle it in one hand and then try to hold the bowl and pour it with the spatula. Okay.
How are we doing, girls? Everyone good?
Lori,
Well, yeah.
you're in the you know.
Well, it's on the side. No.
Could you come sit over there?
Bye, everybody.
Okay.
I'm still here.
Next up, we're gonna take, is everyone ready to start?
Everyone ready? We're moving on. If you're not
Okay.
ready, you could just hold your hand up because I'm looking at all of you. Looks like we're ready.
We're gonna have to whip the egg whites, so you could go back to tracing your circles while your egg whites are whipping in a minute. Okay, so we're gonna take out 1 cup of confectionery sugar and put it in a bowl. And we're gonna add the 3/4 cup of almond flour into it. It says on the recipe that you can put it in a Cuisinart to pulse it a few times to get it mixed together. We're gonna just whisk it. That's what I always do. I never put it in the Cuisinart. If you happen to have very clumpy or not so fine almond flour, then I would put it in the Cuisinart. If not, I would just whisk it together in a bowl until it's all mixed, and you can even like pound on it so that all the clumps come out so it mixes well. After you mix it well together, you're going to take a bigger bowl.
Linda Gatloff's asking, what do we mix? It was confectioner sugar and egg whites, right? Or not
No,
yet?
an almond flour.
Okay. Confectioner sugar and almond flour. How much almond flour? We said
3/4 cup. And 1
1
cup
cup.
of confectionery sugar.
Perfect.
I don't think I wrote to have a strainer out, but we
It's
need a
okay.
strainer.
Everybody get a strainer.
So we're gonna pour this into, I put the strainer into another bowl. The finer the strainer, the better, but it's okay if it's not so fine. And we're gonna sift that into there.
Do you use a sifter or no?
You could use a sifter for sure. My sifter was much wider than this bowl,
Right,
so I didn't want it to get everywhere.
right. Someone's asking us to slow down. Okay,
Okay.
so we didn't do
So
much
this is
yet.
gonna take a second, so don't worry.
Right, okay.
Do you
Any
need me to repeat
questions?
something?
Amy, do you need anything repeated? Just ask if you need anything repeated. So far, we traced circles for the parchment paper on the tray, and we put 3/4 cup of the almond flour with a cup of confectioner sugar, and we're sifting it in a strainer or anything else you have to use.
I want my strainer. I want my sifter. It's much better than this.
It's hard in that.
I know, but it fit in the bowl.
I know. My sifter is tiny. I'm thinking now. It's like a cup size, I think.
And I have a huge one because when I do my cakes and
Cakes.
things.
Mm-hmm.
but
Oh, Victoria asked if she could add cocoa powder.
You can. Let me just. Do you want to do that right now, or you want to do that another time? Because I could text you the exact measurements. It's not exactly the same. Because you have to replace some of the. You can't just add. You have to replace a dry ingredient, because otherwise it won't be the right consistency.
Okay. She said okay.
All right. I'll when the egg whites are whipping, I'll run inside and get you the exact measurement, so that you could jot it down. Okay, almost done. And hopefully everyone will be caught up.
How's everybody doing? Thumbs up? Okay, good. Okay, good. Linda, honey, you have a question?
So mine's not going little balls of almond flour.
Say that again. I didn't
Just
hear.
a little bowl of almond flour. It's not going.
How could I see?
They're like, maybe mash it. Here, I'll spotlight Linda for a second.
Here you go, like this.
All right, show it, Linda.
Let me see.
They're like,
Now, were you watching me? Take your spatula and push it through. Let's take the spatula and push it through. And it will break it up and it will go through.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Who else do this much?
Here,
Oh,
let me-
nobody. Oh, yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
Or you could. Where do you go?
Wait,
Oh, that's me. You're on my
Yeah, I
account.
guess so. Look, this is how. You see how like? Could you see how
fine it is.
not
Yes.
clumpy it is?
Yes.
Very
I
unclumpy.
see. Everyone
Unclumpy.
see how fine it is? How not clumpy it is?
Not.
Okay.
No, it's
Now we're gonna put that to the side for a couple of minutes. And we're gonna put the egg whites into the mixer.
Okay, girls, you heard that? The egg whites into the mixer.
And now we're gonna whip it.
Somebody's asking, it's okay if I don't strain it, question mark?
What?
The.
I
The
guess,
confectioner sugar and the almond flour, it's fine. Just if you see any big clumps in the bowl, like take the whisk and just pounce on it to make it like break.
You used to Rachel.
2 egg whites. Oh, girls, very important actually about the egg whites. When you're breaking your egg white, you know, when you want the egg whites, you have to make sure that there's not a dot of yellow in it. You have to be very careful not to break the yolk, because the yellow is what stops the egg whites from whipping up. And we want them to get nice and whipped.
okay, you guys
So,
got that?
moms, I'm sorry if they don't break them correctly the first time and you have like a lot of broken eggs.
So 2 extra large egg whites. 2
If you have large egg whites,
or
great,
large.
it's fine.
Okay.
Totally fine. And then have your fine sugar measured out. If you have regular granulated sugar, that's fine also. If you feel like getting technical and you can't find fine sugar anywhere, you can put your sugar into the Cuisinart for like a second to make it fine. You do not have to. I use regular granulated sugar most of the time. So have that ready also.
A fourth a cup, right?
Huh?
A fourth a cup, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because when the egg whites get to holding a soft peak, we're gonna gradually add in the sugar and let it beat more so that it can form a nice glossy meringue with firm peaks, and then we're gonna fold in the almond mixture to make the batter.
Okay. You guys
Ready?
heard that?
It's gonna get loud.
Okay.
Everyone, I put it in the glass bowl so you can see it start whipping up.
Okay. I love that, continue. So what speed is it on? 3?
Huh?
Which speed is it on?
I put it to 8 or 10.
Oh, wow. Okay. The fast.
See how it holds that soft peak? Like it's holding it, but not like so firm.
Right.
Now we're gonna start adding our sugar in a very little at a time. I'm gonna put it on.
Have your vanilla ready, so when it becomes a glossy meringue, we're gonna add in the vanilla.
Okay, so 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Get ready, everybody.
Is everybody getting glossy and like thicker? Please tell me what they said.
What speed? We said 8 or
I
9.
put 8 or 10. I put it on high.
Okay.
You really need to whip it.
Bella Abadi asked hers isn't white. Why?
I don't know.
What color is it?
Where are you, Bella? Let me see. Maybe we'll spotlight you. Here she is. Let's see. Spotlight. You want to show us what color it is?
What's in there with it?
Oh, wait. Let me unmute her. That would help. Sorry. Okay, go.
The almond flour and the confectioner sugar.
Maybe because
No, that's separate. That's separate till after. It's just the egg whites.
Oh, okay.
right. This was just the egg whites. We didn't get to the almond flour yet.
Okay, thank you.
I'm putting this back up.
Where are you? Wait, I'm coming. Okay.
I should have had the air conditioner.
Should it turn into stiff peaks? I think we said soft peaks, Alexis.
The egg whites is soft peak, but now this is firm peak. Like this is like a glossy meringue. It's not ready. You see how it's still folding over? It's not really ready yet.
And you're adding the sugar slowly still, or you already added it all?
No, I added it gradually, but then now it was all in already. I'm still, but I still have to whip a little bit.
Okay.
My hair went in the ocean.
Please don't wash it. Okay.
So Frida, I'm gonna send you. Oh, so you can post the chocolate recipe.
The what? I got it. So I'm gonna post, Victoria, I'll post the chocolate recipe with the regular one, like just as an alternate. If it's soft peaks, should she stop? Someone's asking.
That's when, for what? The egg whites? That's when you start adding the sugar. And then you keep it going until you see now it's almost like at a stiff one. See how thick it got? That's what we want.
Alexis, are you making a double recipe? They think it looks like.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm making the double recipe because my KitchenAid is so big that it won't whip if I only put 2 egg whites in it.
Okay. Oh my
So
God.
yours should be a little less, yes.
Okay,
And I did it in the glass one because I wanted you guys to see it.
Perfect.
Oh wait, I have to add the vanilla first. I'm still gonna leave this in here. I'm gonna add the vanilla. Also, at this point, if you wanted to add a color, you wanted to color them, this is when you would do it.
Victoria, where are you? Let's see. She said hers is foamy, not soft peaks. Victoria, I'm going to spotlight you.
What's that question?
It's foamy, not soft peaks.
Let me see.
Yeah, mine's foamy.
Show us.
It's like,
No, that's getting good. That's just the egg whites or that's with the sugar?
that's just the egg whites.
Add the sugar in, it will become like a glossy meringue. Guys, I'm gonna put a dot of pink just to show you that this is when you would color it.
Did you add vanilla yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right before the,
Right before the coloring?
yeah.
Okay.
Does anyone else have questions before we go to the next step? Because we really can't go to the next step until
Perfect.
you guys have this glossy type of meringue.
Okay. How much vanilla? We said a teaspoon.
A teaspoon. You see this? That's
Yeah,
what it's supposed
that
to look like.
Meg. Girls, does yours look like that? Let's see. Does anyone want to show us theirs? Let's see. Oh, wait. Hold on. Marsha, how you doing?
Actually, Lori, forget it. I don't need it. Sorry. I'm gonna just clean my whisk off and get all of this.
Hey, more Frida. How are you? Let's see yours.
Hi.
Okay, lift it up a little. Oh, wow, that looks beautiful.
Oh, nice. You guys put purple in it?
Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Who else can we see? Raise your hand. Marsha?
Amen.
Let's see.
I'm getting it. 1 second.
And congratulations, Miss Salutatorian.
Nice. And yes, congratulations.
That looks gorgeous.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else want us to see? Raise your hand. Camelia, how you doing over there?
Someone just asked a question about food coloring.
Oh,
But
here.
I
Can you put liquid food coloring, or it has to be gel food coloring?
So gel is definitely better because it's thick and it won't change the consistency. If you want to use liquid, I would put like maybe literally 1 or 2 drops and it will be very light, but you don't want to thin it out.
There you go.
Okay, so now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take the bowl out of the mixer. And the next thing you need a spatula for, like this kind of spatula. This kind of spatula. And we're gonna fold in the almond flour and confectionery sugar mixture. And we're gonna, don't pour it all in at one time. It's gonna be a third at a time. So if you were to divide what you had in that bowl into 3, that's what you're pouring in at a time. And we're gonna cut and fold it in. We're not gonna just mix it. So I'm gonna pour in my first third right now, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna mix it. So don't do yours yet.
Everybody pay attention.
So that's about a third. Cutting is cut down the middle and then fold it up. Cut down the middle and fold up. Cut down the middle, fold up. And you have to turn the bowl as you're doing it so that you get everything.
Somebody's asking, do you need to use almond flour or could you use regular flour?
You cannot use regular flour for macaroons.
Okay, it will not work.
It will not, yeah, it just won't. So you're gonna cut, you're cutting through the batter and folding it up. Cutting through and folding up. And when your first third is mixed in pretty much, is when you're gonna do the next third. See how it's melting into there? You don't see the clumps of the almond mixture, really?
Right. Okay, so someone wants us to repeat what we just did. So basically we put a third.
Again, I have 2 more times to do it, so I'm gonna do it.
We're slowly adding in the almond flour mixture.
In 3 parts.
Folding in in 3 parts, basically.
Okay, so now I'm gonna cut down the middle and fold over. Cut down the middle, fold over. You're folding it. You don't want to deflate it, that's why.
Right.
You just whipped up the egg whites and your meringue so nicely that you don't want, if you mix it, you're gonna take out all the air.
Question, should it be a little sticky?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
It's sugar and eggs for sure.
It's like a workout on your right arm.
Yes, it definitely is. People want to know why I don't go to exercise. Because I do this and I roll fondant.
This is like lifting weights, I swear.
My last third will. Just pour it in. Back of it. Let's hold this medicine. And we're going to cut and fold. And then on your last one, you don't stop right when everything gets like mixed in. You're going to keep going until it becomes like thick, satiny, and ribbon-like. I know it sounds like a funny thing to say about a batter, but I'll show you what I mean as it gets like that. How's everybody doing?
Looks like they're all using their arms. I see a lot of arms moving. Any questions? How do we know if it's ready? No foam? Wait. Hold on.
Say that again?
Not sure. Where are you, Jacqueline? Are you showing up here? Hold on.
Okay.
Do they puff in the oven?
Yes.
Yes.
They will grow their little feet. They call it feet, those bottom, how it puffs up, it's called feet. Okay, so I want you to see, you see how it's shiny? And it's thick? And it folds like a ribbon?
Oh, Amy,
That's
I
what
see
you're
you have
looking
a question. Okay. I'm going to unmute you.
Hi.
I don't know if mine is too like liquidy.
Here, wait, let me spotlight her.
No, you're doing great. If you watch me 1 second, keep her on a second, Frida.
Okay.
Amy, look, so if you take it and pick it up and it runs like a ribbon, you're good. That's what we're looking for. We want it to be like a satiny ribbon. Pick up some of it pick up like a decent amount of it. Yeah, you're almost there. Keep cutting and folding a little bit more. And then when you pick up a bigger batch, it will run down the spatula instead of plopping off.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So you see, girls? So when it's like that, Then we're gonna take it and fill out piping bag. Could you get me a large clip? In the bin, right?
Alexis, somebody asked if she added her almond flour at the wrong time, is it no use to continue it?
Probably not, because the egg whites are not gonna whip up.
Right. And somebody said theirs is coming out thick.
Continue to cut and fold,
Right.
and it should all mix together. That means it's not incorporated yet.
Victoria has a question, if she wanted to make brown batter, since she's making chocolate buttercream, which food coloring should she mix for brown, I guess?
Does she have, if she doesn't have brown, you could do like red, purple, yellow, green, a dot of each, and it should make a brown. But if she has food coloring and not gel, then I don't know how well it's gonna work, or it's gonna be like a very light tan color. Like maybe ivory, or like it's not gonna get brown because you can't add too much because it will change the consistency of the batter. So now I filled my bag. Did everyone just watch how I did it? I just did it with the spatula. And then you twist the top. You can take a piece of tape. I have these clips, but if you don't have one, you're gonna make some tape. I buy these from IKEA or the dollar store sells them. They're really for snack bags, and I use them for my icing bags.
Can they put the gel color when I guess after they added the dry already?
Say that again?
Could she add the gel color when she added the dry already? I guess she already added the dry. Could she?
You could have done, yeah, you could. You're still folding and mixing. It just might be like more marbleized than a solid color.
Okay, got it.
Because you need to start, because you don't want to over mix the batter.
Okay.
So you want to do it just until it's shiny and ribbon-like.
Okay, should they put the oven on yet or no?
No.
Not yet. Okay, she'll tell you, don't worry. And somebody wants us to look at theirs. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Spotlighting. And you can unmute.
Yeah.
So mine's coming out very thick. Like when I pick it up, it's just a giant clump. Is that normal?
Was it very glossy and meringue when you did it? Like, did the egg whites whip up nicely? Have you been mixing it a lot?
Yeah, nonstop.
Was it ever shiny and like ribbon-like?
It was, but once I added the third like section of the almond flour and the sugar, it got clumpy.
And you sure you measured correctly?
Yeah.
So then you just continue using your arm.
Yeah, because
It's gonna get funky again.
Exercising that arm.
Try.
all right.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Okay, wait. Let me spotlight you. Okay, go. Oh, Jill Levy said equal parts of red, blue, and yellow makes brown.
Thank you, Jill Levy.
Artist herself. Jill Greenberg now, but.
Is what?
I said Jill Greenberg now.
Oh, I'm sorry. She's really Jill Sabag, if you ask me.
Right. True.
Okay.
She said for sure.
Now, after we filled our bag, my helper over here is washing my bowl for me. But before you wash your bowl or send it to be washed, and before we start piping, what you should do is take like your finger and get a little bit of batter from the bowl, and underneath each corner, put a little bit and stick the parchment. If you don't have the soap hat with the, because then you don't want it to fly up in the oven.
Smart. Good tip.
So I'm just gonna take it from I opened my piping bag. And I'm just gonna take it on my finger and put on the 4 corners. No, I just need the bowl.
So let's repeat that. The tip was to take some of the batter, put a little bit on your finger, and put on the bottom of the parchment paper.
The 4 corners of the tray. so we'll hold the
6, right?
parchment down.
Very smart.
Now, we're gonna pipe. Did anyone ever pipe anything before?
Thumbs
Show
up.
raise of hands if you did or didn't. Thumbs up or thumbs down.
I see a thumb. I see a hand. I see. Anyone else?
Perfect.
I see a thumb. I see a yes. Okay, a bunch of people have pipe.
Okay, so now what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna hold, I'm not gonna do it yet, because I wanna explain first, because if you turn over this bit, oh wait, does anyone not have a piping tip in their bag that needs to cut it now? From the Ziploc gallon bag.
Camellia?
Joe Greenberg, yes. Okay, so you're gonna cut it, you want the bottom, you want the opening to be about a 1/2 inch. So cut to make a 1/2 inch circle. Nobody flipped their bag over yet because the batter is runny. So once you flip it over, it's gonna start pouring out. So you're gonna have to, like, when you do it, you're gonna have to hold it with 2 hands so that when you go between each, it doesn't drip. So for macaroons, you hold the bag straight up. You wanna hold it straight up and hold it in the middle of the circle and like fill up and then stop and then pull up. So watch before you
Watch
start.
first, girls. Watch first.
Wait, I'm moving back. You
Yes,
can see
I'm
back better.
That's
Laura,
good.
you be in charge of that.
Oh, great.
I'm gonna pipe, 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 and I'm almost at the edge of my circle, and I pull up.
Wow, that's awesome. So you gotta move quick.
Yeah. If you want it to stop,
You could lift
you
it up.
gotta pick
Right.
it up like this, and let the batter like fall in a little bit, and then leave it standing. Now, if you see these little peaks over here,
Caroline Cohen said that hers is very clumpy.
Where is she?
Caroline, where's Pam?
Let's see, Caroline.
Did you
Let's
do? Let me see it, Kat.
unmute.
No, that's not. That doesn't look so clumpy. Let me see when you like lift it and try to let it run down. No, that's good.
It's good.
Excellent. Okay, so now the next step is you see these little
Wait.
dots.
I'm gonna smell at you again. Hold on. Okay.
You dip your finger in water and just touch them. Okay, you just dip your finger in water, very little water, and dab it, and they're gone.
Wow. That's awesome.
When we finish the tray, what we're gonna do is you tap it on the table a couple of times to pop out any air bubbles. So once you do all of that, like once you pipe everything, then you preheat your oven to 325 because these have to sit on the trays for a 1/2 hour to settle before you put them in the oven. I'm gonna do mine after. Or I could do a few more now. I'm gonna get me a soap patch, right? Because we didn't trace.
Okay, girls, and while we're waiting, they're gonna be in the oven after this, or we're waiting?
No, they have to wait a 1/2 hour.
Okay, so while we're waiting the 1/2 hour, we're gonna have a Q&A. So you guys get your questions ready for Alexis.
I'm also gonna show you how to make buttercream, and I have a batch that's already done. So I'll show you how to fill them, but I will not be with you when you're baking and filling yours because that's gonna be another 2 hours.
Right. Then you'll be on your own. Do you need to bake it on a metal baking sheet, or could you use foil?
I never tried it on foil, but a lot of people bake with foil instead of baking sheet, so it's fine. I mean, it should be fine.
Right.
Oh, wait.
I could watch you do this all day. How's everybody
When
doing?
you're allowed in my house, you could come over.
How's everybody doing?
I'm gonna put this on one of the baking racks.
What time is it right now?
8:15.
8:45.
Okay. I'm gonna put this here.
So good question, Hannah. She said, what should I do for a half hour? So Alexis is gonna show us a demonstration
Sorry.
on how to make buttercream, which is something you could use as a filling or any kind of frosting. And then you could also ask any like baking questions you have or any kind of questions. This is the time to ask. I know
Oh,
Norma
this
had
is
some good
good.
questions before. I
No,
forgot what it was. Yes, they're letting them sit for a half hour, right?
Yes.
Yes, you're letting them sit for a half hour, 30 minutes. Alexis is timing it, right? But I guess everyone should time it from when it's done. Sophia said hers are clumpy. Where are you? Let me find her and I'll spotlight her in the meantime.
30 minutes and counting.
Here she is.
Let me see.
Okay. I
Look,
unmute.
it's
I
very
can unmute
clumpy.
you, Sophia.
Look, it's very clumpy. It's not like.
No, it's not.
Turkey.
That's how it's supposed to be. Continue. It's gonna get ribbon-like, Sophia.
Okay.
Keep it up.
Thank you.
Okay. Hold on. Where is she? So the buttercream recipe I don't have, but Alexis is gonna show us now.
As I'm doing it, I will tell you the measurements, and Frida, you could type it up while I'm saying it.
Fine.
Let me just measure my vanilla, and I'll be right back there.
Can you use frosting for the filling? I believe so, right?
Yes, you could. Okay, so really to fill macaroons, you can use anything you like. You could use a ganache. You could use chocolate pudding, not pudding because it will run, but like a Nutella, that carved chocolate spread. You can use buttercream in a dairy or in a carve. You can use buttercream with jam in the middle so that you have a bite of jelly and icing. Anything that's thick and stable, you could put in the middle. You could even put a little bit of icing on like a slice of banana or a strawberry, raspberries, anything.
Perfect.
Okay, so right now we're gonna make carved buttercream. I'm gonna use 2 sticks of margarine. If you wanted to make it dairy, you can use 2 sticks of butter. And we change to the beater, not the whisk. Two sticks of the margarine, or you could use Eristalin, whatever your house has. 1 stick, which is 1 cup of vegetable shortening. Crisco or any vegetable shortening, because I know some people like to use organic ones. They make so just any vegetable shortening.
Okay.
And we're going to mix those together. It's mixing together nicely, but in the middle, I like to stop it and scrape down the sides so that I know that everything is getting mixed together. If someone didn't want to use vegetable shortening, you could use all margarine, all butter, all earth balance instead. Or if you want it to be very white, you could use all vegetable shortening.
The oven should be set to 325.
Yes.
How much shortening? We said a stick of vegetable shortening or a
So
cup.
not everyone buys the sticks. If your mother has the tub, it's 1 cup.
Okay, 1 6 4 1.
Now it's mixed very nicely together. Let me just show you what it looks like.
Trish,
Mixed it-
Someone
No.
just asked, is it normal that they got 2 dozen?
Yes.
There you go. And yeah, the buttercream recipe we're doing now, so I'm gonna post it soon. But so far, it's 2 sticks of butter or
So this is what it
margarine
looks like.
and a stick.
and 1 cup or 1 stick.
How much sugar? We
vegetables.
didn't get to that yet.
I'm not gonna push the wrong one. Okay, now we're gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla and mix it. And then I add like 1 tablespoon of water. You could add, I like water because in case anyone has allergies, because I give it to other people, but you can put almond milk, soy milk, rice milk, rich whip, any kind of liquid that you want, about 1 tablespoon. If you're making dairy, you can put milk.
What could she use if she doesn't have vegetable shortening, Gila?
You could just double the margarine or double the butter if that's what whichever one she's using. So just use 2 cups of it instead of 1 cup. And then we're gonna add, if anyone has in their house, a 2-pound bag of confectionery sugar, or it's 8 cups of confectionery sugar. I just buy it in the bags because it's just convenient, and I pour the whole thing in because I know the measurement instead of having to measure my 8 cups out every single time.
So you said 8 cups of confectionery sugar, or how much?
Yeah. It's a 2-pound bag or 8 cups, or if you have in your house those little boxes, those are 1-pound boxes. So this recipe would call for 2.
2 of those, gotcha.
But you could also cut everything in half and make it with just that one little box.
Okay. Junie, we're recording this, so if you're behind, you could always come back and watch this. We're gonna post it probably tomorrow morning on dsnlive.org/virtual-fun. The buttercream, I'm gonna actually start posting the measurements now. The buttercream.
It's not gonna fly.
It's gonna fly everywhere. So I'm gonna grab a towel, and you're not gonna see the first second of it mixing, so that you don't get like powder in your faces.
Smart, by the way.
Help it. Now we're gonna have to add a dot more water. Add the water in slowly till it's a consistency that you like, and that's spreadable. I'm gonna add a little more water. I don't like it this thick. And that's buttercream. Now I'm gonna put this into a bag, in a piping bag, and I'm gonna show you how to fill your macaroons once they are cooled off. The big one, they're tied onto the big one. On the ribbon. Okay, color it.
Almost it, almost. So we are putting color in ours. It's gonna be blue. Oh wait.
Just a dot, just a dot. We're gonna color the icing, because the macaroons that I made this morning are white, so I want to just show you the difference in color of in the sandwich.
Same. How was everybody's day?
Lori said, "How was everybody's day?" Oh, you know what I also forgot? You know what I forgot to mention in the beginning? But I think that everyone is coming out okay. So whoever washed your KitchenAid bowl, they were very clean. But just make sure, like now I'm making icing in this bowl. If I was gonna make the icing first and then make the macaroons, you have to make sure that there's no grease and no fat, no oil, anything in the bowl whenever you're whipping up egg whites, because the egg whites will not whip up if there's any oily residue at all in the bowl. So if you find that there is, or if you're a little nervous, you could take a little bit of white vinegar on a paper towel and wipe down the bowl. After a second, it doesn't smell like vinegar, don't worry. And your macaroons won't smell like vinegar.
Somebody asked how long does it bake for, but we're not baking them yet.
No, so you're gonna bake them for 12 to 15 minutes in a 325-degree oven.
But you have to wait 30 minutes after you
Like them.
cook them.
And bang them.
For sure.
Oh, so those are the done ones that you made already, right?
Yeah, this is the ones that we made this morning. Not me.
Cheese. Look, you see how they have the feet?
Yes. They're gorgeous. Wow.
These are not the ones.
I think she said 12 to 15 minutes in the oven,
Yeah.
right? But not yet. We're not putting them in yet. Just so we're clear. Okay.
No, the top of it. Top one.
So someone wrote her circles were perfectly piped, but when she banged the tray down, they became like ovals.
Let me see.
What is it? Lori,
So it's not because you bang them. As they sit, they settle down also. That's what macaroons do. That's how they like go down, and that's how they puff up.
oh, here she is. Okay.
That's part of the process.
Let me spotlight. Wow, they look so good though.
They look very good.
Wait, let me unmute her.
I wish I saw what they looked like before, but a lot of them still look circular.
Ours look like this.
Look, mine spread out also. When you banged it, did you hold it to the side, like, or did you bang it straight down? Okay, so now I put the icing in a bag, and I just cut a tip at the top, at the bottom. I don't even put a tip in because it doesn't really matter. You're gonna show when your macaroons are ready. After you bake them, then they have to cool off on the tray for 10 minutes. Then you take them off very carefully, and they should come off like with a clean bottom. Some of them sometimes come out like this. Usually means that you didn't bake them enough because they weren't like stiff enough to come off. Or I didn't wait long enough. I was impatient and I wanted to take it off the tray. So wait 10 minutes and then do it carefully. And then they have to completely cool off before you fill them, because if they're still hot and you try to fill them, your filling will melt as you pipe it on. So now you match, and then you match up the sizes that are the same to make a sandwich. Like go through your tray and make pairs that are the same size. Then you're gonna fill 1/2. And if you're doing a whole tray, you could like an assembly line. And then push down, and there's your macaroon.
Wow. That looks meg. Gorgeous. So the one that showed you that she banged too hard, she wants to know, does it mean it will be ovally when it comes out of the oven?
It might be, but if they're all ovally, then you have oval macaroons.
Okay,
They match.
and also for Gila, she's not using vegetable shortening in the buttercream, so she wants to know if she should add anything extra. But I think we said to double the butter or margarine, right?
Double the butter or margarine, whatever you're using.
Okay. Okay, great. Great.
I'll just do a taste test.
Okay.
You do that. I'm dying to do that. Through the screen.
Pretty good. Thanks, Laura.
Oh, so Norma had a very good question,
What's the-
actually. She wants me to ask it, but she wants to know, are you able to clean a piping bag, or do you normally throw them away?
So you can, these happen to be disposable ones, but you can buy reusable ones, but I would be washing them every 4 seconds because I
Right.
use them.
It's probably
So,
easier to buy disposable.
In your house, if you're doing something once in a while, yes, they sell reusable piping bags, and I would suggest that. But if you're gonna use and do things all the time, then that's why I don't.
Right.
It's more like it's like a plasticky silicone feeling, like type.
So the ones we bought, like Wilton, it came in a box. I feel like they're disposable. You should check the box.
Yeah, that should be.
Yeah.
You would know if they weren't disposable. They're like,
Thicker.
I don't even have to show you, but they're rubbery. Like you can put them in the dishwasher, you would know.
Right. After you fill them
Yours is like a plastic, like
yeah,
this
that's
that has,
what ours looks like.
and it has purple Wilton sign on it, no?
I don't know. Does it have purple?
I'm saying, but it's clear like a plastic bag, no?
Yes.
It's a little thick.
Yes.
So yeah, they're disposable. You
Yeah.
can wash them like once or twice if you think you could get a good wash out of it and use it again.
It's hard to wash also because of the grease. No, it's good.
Yes. It is.
After you fill the macaroons, do they have to sit?
No, I mean, you could eat them right now. Most people like to store them in the fridge if they're not going to eat them the same day. If you're not serving them the day that you make the shells, I would put them in a Tupperware and I would fill them when you're going to serve them. Because I personally don't love them from the fridge. I don't like them cold because the buttercream gets hard and then the cookie gets cold. I like eating them room temperature.
Right.
So I would fill them when you're ready to serve them. Or if you want to eat them, like leave them out of the fridge for a good half hour to thaw out.
Perfect. Also, we had a question. Norma had a good question. How do you store your frosting?
In
Like,
the fridge.
so she said that someone she knows put it in the fridge overnight and then it was clumpy. It separated like in the fridge. The next day, I guess, when she took it out.
What kind of icing did she make? Do you know?
She made a Victoria, where are you? Victoria. She's not there. Okay.
Now I need it.
I think it was a recipe from Google, like a buttercream.
Sometimes like they'll get hard in the fridge, and if you let it thaw out, you can re-whip it in your KitchenAid. But
makes sense.
Usually, if you leave it out, it will separate from the room temperature or the heat. I wouldn't imagine it separating in the fridge. It will stay like very solid in the fridge.
Right. Interesting. When flavoring, do you adjust the liquid in the cookie or filling?
In what?
When you're flavoring, I'm saying
flavoring what? A macaroon or a buttercream?
No, they're asking which one should you flavor, the buttercream?
Oh,
that's what I think that
you can flavor both. Some people do chocolate macaroons
With vanilla.
with vanilla filling or with a raspberry filling. So like it's really, you can do whatever you like.
Everybody
to get creative. What gel company is good to use?
We use
I like either
CK products.
it comes in like a squeeze bottle, like this top sometimes, and sometimes that one, but it's the same company. CK squeeze gel color.
Oh.
This is like, it's accepted by the OU and JSOR, so that's why I have this one.
Awesome. So the one that had the not perfect circles, she wants to know if she doesn't bang them on the table, does it cause it to be hollow or cracked?
It might, because then you're not banging out the bubbles.
Right.
So that might it might pop in the oven, the bubble.
Okay, and how would we make chocolate macaroons? So Alexis sent me a chocolate macaroon
tell you
recipe,
right
so I'm gonna post that when we post this video. So it will be on the website tomorrow. Girls, any other questions? Oh yeah, do I need to pop the air bubbles after banging?
No,
No, when
that's
you
what-
bang it,
when
that's
you
when
bake it, it lifts it to the top and it pops it itself. That's what it's getting out the air from the middle of the macaroon.
Does anyone want to ask their own questions? So come ask your question, Norma. Here she is.
When you put the buttercream in, do you use a tip, like a piping tip?
No, I just cut it because it really doesn't have, I mean, if you want to, you can, but I take a step out because it's just making a blob on the macaroon. So I don't want to have to clean an extra thing.
Right. That's why
Also, guys, I
it's
should
with Alexis. She's always conscious of the cleaning.
well, when you're doing it so much, you
I
have to
love
take
it.
that time.
Yes.
I showed you the CK bottles, but those are like, I think they sell them in smaller sizes, but they're massive. You could also in Michael's get the Wilton little, these are good also.
How do those come out?
This you have to do with a toothpick, the other one squeezes out. You have to do that with a toothpick.
Can you freeze the shells?
I don't see why not. I never did, but I don't see why not.
Yeah. Does anyone want to raise their hand and ask their own question? You have Alexis on the floor. Now is the chance. More Frida. Go.
Okay, I tell you, I think we got the mistake we make with the, when we put the almond flour, because we use sugar-free, like we make everything sugar-free. Like we don't make regular sugar. I think that's why it's not come like.
So what did you use?
Esther, what we use for the what is it?
Oh, xylitol?
Yes, and also the
I never tried it with that, so I wouldn't
in
be.
the confectionery sugar, it's also sugar-free. Like we make everything sugar-free.
I'm sure it will come out fine, but it's let me know how it comes out more, Frida. I want you to text me. But it's probably just like a little bit of a different texture, the sugars.
Yeah, how come I don't hear her?
Please don't put that back on.
They're really thick, but they look not so bad.
Don't tip it over.
Sorry. Sugar-free macaron.
Wait, let me spell it. Yeah.
Sugar-free macaron, and we have this one, sugar-free.
Am I frozen now?
See? Let's see the tray. Way to go.
Let me see the tray.
Oh, you want to see? There you go. Here we go.
Oh, they look fine.
Yeah, they look fine, but I don't know, like they're a little
Let's see
bit.
how they bake. We'll see
Yeah,
how they bake.
Bezrat Hashem.
Text me and let me know.
Okay, Bezrat Hashem. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any
Yeah.
other questions?
Somebody asked if I overmix the batter, is it gonna ruin it?
Possibly.
Possibly. Don't
Let me-
overmix. You want to show us? I think she already had them down though, Lori. Should we put them in the oven now? Somebody asked?
Is it a half hour? Did you time it from when you bang them on the table? It has to be like between 20 and 30 minutes. What has to happen is, actually, Lori, bring me the tray with the pink ones. Let me check my timer and see how long mine is.
Ours is 8:45.
Oh, I have only 5 minutes left.
If you guys were on track with us, then we should be done by 8:45.
Okay,
Like
so
they should be
now
done sitting.
You all right? Okay, so now I got them back, and the whole thing is that you need to form like a skin. So when you touch them, mine are not ready yet. You see it lifted?
Mm-hmm. I did say.
So it needs to like be on the drier side. Like it shouldn't lift on my finger. So mine needs a few more minutes. And then they're ready to bake.
Any natural things to use for color for people who can't use food coloring?
Yes, you could either, first of all, there's this company, Indian Tree, that makes natural food coloring. You can also buy, it flavors it and it colors it. You can buy any freeze-dried fruit and put it in a Cuisinart or in a coffee grinder and make it into a powder. So you could have like raspberry powder, strawberry powder, blueberries, any other kind of dried fruit, and pulverize it into a powder, and that can become your food coloring and flavoring.
You only bang it down in the beginning when you first.
Yeah, just when you first pipe them all, and then bang the tray once or twice to get the bubbles in.
Okay.
1 second.
Love the freeze-dried fruit tip. Somebody wrote, Nancy Nasser. Mine isn't sticking on my finger, but I still have 8 minutes left on my timer.
Right, so it should be fine by the 30 minutes, and then you bake it for like 12 to 15 minutes. And don't leave the oven light on the whole time, because you should never while you're baking something, because the light adds extra heat, and then like the top of your item will toast and not bake evenly on the inside. But like 4 or 5 minutes in, open the light for a second, and I want you to see, like you'll see those feet growing at the bottom, like how macaroons do. And then shut the light, but you just should, like, it's very cool to see them start growing.
Rising. Someone asked if she puts the sugar when it wasn't soft peaks, is it a problem?
It might not like make the glossy meringue that you need, because you need the air in the eggs already to keep inflating it, as opposed to weighing it down, the egg whites.
Got it. Okay. Okay, guys, any other questions? How's everybody doing? Ready? Their things are ready to go in soon? Is it important to scale everything?
Well, we measured everything. Yeah. Baking is very precise. It's like science.
Science.
But not-
exactly.
Cooking is very different. Cooking, you can, you know, put a little of this and a little of that. Baking is really a science, and you need to measure.
How many macaroons does one batch usually make?
It should make 16 sandwiches, so 32 of like a 2-inch macaroon. But give or take a little bit. I don't know how you piped it. If you put a lot in it, if you made it bigger, if you made some smaller. Sometimes it's not exact.
Right. Someone's asking how much longer is the process? Like after we're done baking it?
Once you bake it for the 12 to 15 minutes, you let it cool off for 10 minutes, and then you take them off the tray very carefully so you don't break them apart. And then let them cool completely, and then you could fill them, and then you're done. If you didn't want to fill them, let's say tonight or when you're making them, you let them cool off and put them in a Tupperware, and then whenever you're ready to fill them, you can do it the next morning if you want, or 2 days later.
Okay, somebody asked for me to send the recipe because she missed half. So this is being recorded, so you could see this tomorrow. It'll probably be easier to rewatch it, and the recipe will be with the video. And it's on dsnlive.org. I'll post the website. Take off the tray with your hands or a spatula?
So I really just do it like this. I'll show you. 1 second, I'm coming back there. That one there. And so this is another tray that came out of the oven today. And I take it and I flip it like that. So it comes off clean.
So you use your other hand on the
I use the
bottom
other
to push
hand
it
to
out.
like push it off, but very carefully.
And then if you leave it like, let's say you just leave it longer than however long you said. Is it
Sometimes it sticks. So I would really do it like 10, 15 minutes after you take it out of the oven.
Gotcha.
Even if you put it back on the same parchment, just not
Right.
where it was stuck.
Just remove it from its spot.
Right. Like the same thing like when you would bake cookies, you want to like
Yeah,
remove it from the spot.
for
So
sure.
this is how you do it. Okay. Anything else, girls?
Girls, any other questions? Someone's raising their hand. I'm actually gonna call on you so you can unmute yourself. Go.
So is that after you baked them?
Say that again?
Do you take them off after you baked them?
Yeah, like 10 minutes after they come out of the oven, you do what I just did, like you slide them off.
Okay.
And then let them cool completely before you fill them, because you don't want your filling to get like soft and mushy.
So after the half an hour is done, I just stick it in the oven?
Yes, for 12 to 15 minutes.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Is there anything they should look for when it's in the oven, or just like time it 12 minutes?
You want them to look like, you want them to have the feet and be like cooked. But you don't want to see anything see-through in the middle, because that means it's still like batter. And they might start to get a dot golden. You see how it's like a dot golden around the edge? Then they're done. See that?
I do. Okay, girls, any other questions? What do we leave it on to cool? What do we leave it on to cool?
I personally just move it and leave it on that. Like
So
I just
leave it on the same parchment.
Yeah, you saw how like I lifted it and just put it in another spot, or just like slid it over a little bit. That's what I did.
Okay.
If you wanted and you could put it on. 1 second, I'll show you. You have a cooling rack. You could always put that on your tray or even just on the counter and put them on there like this to cool off. It will definitely cool off faster because you won't have the heat, because this didn't go in the oven, so it's not hot, but you'll also have the circulation of air going on top and on bottom. So it will cool off faster.
Okay, awesome. And one more question. When piping the filling, should I pipe from the middle or around the edge?
No, definitely the middle, and make it a little higher than you think, because then when you push the sandwich down, it will go right to the edges. I'll show you one more time. 1 second. Let me find two that are the same size. I'm going to start in the middle. And you see how high I went?
Yes, wow, that's beautiful.
Okay, now I'm going to take this one and you push it until it reaches the edges so that you don't go over. But it's a nice sandwich. You have a nice amount in there.
Perfect. Okay, girls, any other last question? I think we answered a million questions. Not we, Alexis answered a million questions. Everybody good? So if anyone has any questions when we're done and we're not here, you could always text me and I will reach out to Alexis and ask her.
Perfect.
Can we have this again? You're funny. This video is going to be on dsnlive.org/virtual-fun, so you can watch it over as many times as you want. Thank you so much. Everyone,
request something different from Frida and we could see what happens.
Awesome. We always love to bake with Alexis. Everyone saying thank you, so helpful. Always wanted to learn. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alexis.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Can we watch you make another color? I think that might take too long because.
What do they want?
Could we watch you make another color? I think you already made
macaroons or icing?
The macaroons are done, right?
Macaroons are done.
Icing or macaroons? Who asked? Naama. I don't know. She's not answering. Where is she? Oh, here. Camelia, yes. What's your question?
So on the timer, you set it to 12 to 15 minutes. So how do you know when they're ready?
Okay, so I would put it to 12 minutes, and at 12 minutes, open the light of the oven, or you could just like peek in. Don't let all the air escape. And if the middles of the tops, 1 second, I'm gonna grab one. If like the middle part here still looks like shiny and see-through a little bit, it's not ready yet. You want it, you see how it's like an opaque and it's like a matte shiny finish? You don't want it to be shiny and like clearish, like looking like batter.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I think that's that, girls. Thank you so much, Alexis. Really.
My pleasure.
Amazing. And I can't wait to eat Norma's because she made it downstairs. And everybody send me your pictures. I want to see what you
Yes,
make.
I definitely want to see. If you post them on Instagram, please tag me or like something. I want to see them.
Tag Alexis and tag DSN because we want to see them. Thank you, thank you. Alexis, thanks a million.
You're welcome. Bye, girls.
Bye.